Let's see if we can run a shop vac off my Magnum inverter. This is a 1,000-watt inverter. It's hooked up to a 100-watt breaker on my dual batteries, which are Odyssey Extremes 1500s. Rigid shop vac. I'm working on finishing up this drawer system in the rear. I know it's a stretch, but let's see if we can run this. Well, apparently you can. Now, the truck's not running. The inverter, I have 1 gauge going back to the positive, 4 gauge going back to the negative. These go straight back to the battery. And 6 horsepower, 14-gallon rigid shop vac. It definitely, absolutely worked. Now, the beauty about this, the guys out in Australia will appreciate this. This can also be plugged into shore power. So I can plug this in at an outlet and charge both the batteries in the truck, which is pretty amazing. And it appears that definitely ran my battery down. 11.9. So it definitely took some serious juice out of the battery, but a shop vac isn't something you would run ever. I just wanted to see what would happen. And it definitely worked. It absolutely worked. The wires are hot. No breakers are tripped. This is the breaker for the Busman fuse block that I installed. And this is the breaker that goes straight back to the inverter. So it all works out pretty well. Pretty outstanding, huh? That thing is amazing. And again, I would never bring a shop vac anywhere ever, but I'm assuming if you can run a shop vac off of an inverter in a vehicle that's not running, okay, it isn't running, I'm sure you can pretty much run anything whatsoever at all. Just my opinion. It's an expensive inverter, but I got a really good deal on it on eBay. It was brand spanking new. I'm just doing a little finish work here on my drawer system. I built this tray for my refrigerator, including the tie-down straps, and I also built an extendable hardwood table, and then I soaked it down, hand rubbed it with beeswax. I'm going to say about 6 times. Now these are 500-pound slides, but I did not get the locking slide, so I simply use one of my front brake pins. I replaced the calipers in this thing last week, so I use one of the brass pins. Works out perfect. But again, I'm not one of those guys that pays to buy rear drawers or pays to buy one of those drawer sliders for my fridge, any of that stuff. And I'm also going to build a table right off the back of this right here. At any rate, like, share, subscribe, or don't. I'm out.